This story is based on the personal experience of an online friend who goes by the nickname Little Fluff. I'll refer to her as Fluff in the following narrative. Fluff got married to her husband in 2016, and their wedding took place in July. After the ceremony, as planned before the wedding, Fluff and her husband set off for their honeymoon in Phuket. This was a trip they had arranged well in advance. Phuket is no stranger to many people. It's a popular Southeast Asian holiday destination located in southern Thailand, in the southeastern part of the Andaman Sea. The island is renowned for its beautiful environment and numerous attractions, such as Phi Phi Island, Coral Island, and Ratchet Island. Many Chinese tourists are drawn to this place for its stunning scenery, tropical climate that allows for swimming, rich seafood and tropical fruits, and a variety of island hopping activities. Over the years, it has been a favorite destination for tourists from mainland China all year round. Fluff and her husband had booked a self-guided tour package for 2 online before their trip. On a Monday at the end of July, the couple boarded a flight to Phuket. The plane landed at night, and after smoothly clearing customs, they went to the service station to wait for the pre-booked shuttle. At the service station, they noticed that apart from the staff, there was also a young couple who appeared to be tourists and were speaking Mandarin. Fluff, being an outgoing and cheerful person, took the initiative to greet and chat with the young couple while waiting for their ride. It turned out that the couple was also on the same flight as Fluff and her husband. Coincidentally, they had booked the same hotel. The young man worked in Hong Kong, while the girl was still a university student in Beijing. The man had taken annual leave flown from Hong Kong to Beijing to meet his girlfriend, and then the two of them had come to Phuket together. After a brief chat, the couple's car arrived first, and they said goodbye to Fluff and her husband, agreeing to get in touch once they were at the hotel. They left first, and shortly after, the car for Fluff and her husband arrived as well. As they got into the car, the couple eagerly began discussing their itinerary for the next few days. While talking, Fluff said to her husband, "If we run into that young couple tomorrow, let's ask if they'd like to join us. It would be more fun with more people, and it would be convenient for eating and sightseeing. What do you think?" Her husband replied, "Sure, if they're up for it. We can hang out together." Just now, they left in a hurry, and we didn't even get their contact information. "No problem," Fluff said. "We'll be staying at the same hotel, so we'll definitely run into them." Before they knew it, the car had arrived at the hotel. It was already past 2 in the morning. The couple got their luggage out of the car, checked in at the hotel front desk, and entered their room exhausted. They quickly freshened up, tidied up a bit, and went to bed. The next day, they woke up naturally around 10 o'clock. It was too late for breakfast, so after getting ready, they decided to visit the hotel grounds first. The hotel they were staying at wasn't overly luxurious, but it had a nice design, including its facilities and decor. The hotel also featured a particularly large swimming pool. From the balcony of their room, they could access the pool directly. The couple changed into their swimsuits, planning to enjoy some time in the pool. By chance, they ran into the young couple they had met at the airport the day before. Fluff quickly went over to greet them, and the couple, recognizing Fluff and her husband from the airport, were also delighted. The 4 of them immediately decided to go out for a meal together. After they had changed their clothes, they swam and played in the pool for a while, then went back to change clothes and agreed to meet in the hotel lobby. After that, the 4 of them strolled out of the hotel, chatting and enjoying themselves as they walked. It was a very pleasant time. The couple learned that the boy was named Huang and the girl was named Le. As they walked and talked, they casually found a small restaurant nearby to have a meal. They ordered food and, while eating, discussed their plans for the rest of the trip. Although they hadn't known each other for long, The four of them got along very well and felt a strong connection. After finishing their meal, they made plans to go snorkeling together the next day. They continued to explore the area for a while before returning to the hotel. When Fluff and her husband got back, they eagerly took out their snorkeling gear and tried it out in the hotel pool. Le and Huang had some snorkeling experience before. Despite their young age, they demonstrated how to use the snorkeling masks and shared some basic snorkeling tips with Fluff and her husband in the pool. Afterward, they all had dinner together. Everyone felt very happy that day. Fluff and her husband also thought it was very fortunate to meet such compatible travel companions in a foreign country. The next morning, the four of them took a car that came to pick them up from the hotel to the harbor for their boat trip. Their itinerary for the day was quite full. They spent a lot of time on the boat, went snorkeling twice, and had a meal on the island. It was a very fulfilling day. By the time the trip was over, Fluff felt a bit tired. It was around 4 in the afternoon when they got back to the hotel. She wanted to rest on the bed for a while. However, she hadn't been lying down for long when she heard a knock on the door. Her husband opened the door and saw it was the girl Le. Le had spent the whole day with them, but she looked very excited and not tired at all. As soon as she came in, she said to the couple, "Huang and I want to take a walk along the beach near the hotel. Then we'll go straight to the night market for dinner. Would you like to join us?" Fluff was a bit tired and hadn't rested enough, but seeing Le's excitement, she could tell that the young girl was very happy to be on this trip with her boyfriend. Fluff felt happy for them and decided to get up and ask her husband if he was tired. Her husband knew his wife was a bit tired and said, "If you're tired, we can just rest in the hotel." At that moment, Huang also came over and invited them to go out and take a walk along the Padang coastline. Fluff didn't want to spoil the fun, so she agreed to go. Huang and Le said, "Wait a moment, we'll change clothes, and then we'll meet you in the lobby." After a while, the couple saw Huang and Le change into their swimsuits again, apparently still wanting to go into the water. Fluff was quite envious of their seemingly endless energy. The four of them went to the Patong beach together. Huang and Le happily played and splashed around in the sea. Fluff and her husband sat on the beach, chatting and enjoying the view. It was a very pleasant moment. Suddenly, they heard a scream, "Help! Help!" Fluff and her husband were startled. They looked around to see who was shouting. It was Le, and her face had turned pale. The couple quickly got up and ran over to Le. She was in tears, crying and shouting. Fluff and her husband followed the direction she was pointing in and saw that Huang was quite far out in the water. His head was bobbing up and down on the surface, and his hands were waving frantically. It seemed like he was drowning. How did he get so far out in the water so quickly? There was no time to think about it. Saving Huang was the priority. Fluff's husband was a good swimmer. He shouted, "Call the lifeguard," and then turned and jumped into the water, swimming towards Huang. On the Patong beach, there were lifeguards in red and yellow uniforms. Hearing their cries for help, the lifeguard immediately rushed over. Le was completely stunned, but fortunately, Fluff remained relatively calm. She used the simplest words to tell the lifeguard that a companion was drowning in that direction. The lifeguard asked Fluff to call her husband back, fearing that if one person didn't make it, another might get into trouble as well. After all, the lifeguard was the professional and needed to prepare to rescue the drowning person. At that moment, Fluff and Le on the shore watched in horror as Huang, who had been struggling in the water, suddenly sank beneath the surface. After he went under, his head never reappeared. Fluff was stunned. She shouted for her husband to come back, fearing for his safety as well, since the lifeguard had already jumped into the water. Fluff's husband, who was swimming towards the direction where Huang had been drowning, suddenly lost sight of him and was also startled. Then he heard Fluff and Le shouting at him from behind, come back quickly. With no other choice, he turned around and swam back. Meanwhile, some other tourists on the shore had gathered around, chattering in various accents of English, creating a chaotic scene. A few people on the shore were nervously scanning the water, trying to spot Huang, but they couldn't find him. All they could see was the lifeguard swimming towards the direction where Huang had last been seen. At that moment, Fluff's husband suddenly shouted, "There!" He pointed and Fluff saw Huang resurface, but he was now further from the shore than before. They noticed that Huang was swimming towards the shore in a very strange manner, not like any common swimming stroke. It was more like dog paddling, with Huang extending one arm and making a reaching motion in the water, as if he was desperately trying to grab something. His body jerked with each reach, and his movements were very awkward, but he was swimming back towards the shore at a decent speed. He reached the shore not long after. A while later, the lifeguard who had gone into the water swam back behind Huang and reached the shore. Huang lay there, and Fluff, her husband, and the lifeguard quickly gathered around him, patting his back and asking if he was okay. Huang coughed up several mouthfuls of water and finally managed to catch his breath. Everyone helped Huang sit on a nearby bench to rest. The lifeguard, concerned, asked him if he was all right. After a moment, Huang's emotions stabilized and he told the lifeguard that he was fine. Fluff and her husband kept asking if he was really okay, while Le was nearly in hysterics, crying and saying, "You scared me to death." Fluff quickly comforted Le, patting her and saying, "It's okay, it's good that nothing serious happened." After the lifeguard was sure that Huang was not seriously injured, he gave some instructions and then left. Fluff's husband also comforted Huang, and finally the emotions of the young couple stabilized. Fluff's husband then asked, "What happened? What exactly went wrong?" At this point, Les, still shaken, said, "I'm not quite sure. We were playing in the water, and I was chasing Huang. He was swimming and looking back at me. Suddenly, I saw him sink, and when he resurfaced, it seemed like he had swallowed some water and then sank again. I was terrified, and I noticed he was getting further and further from the shore." Huang, who had calmed down a bit, said, "I suddenly felt something grab my leg with a lot of force and pull me under. I swallowed some water, and my consciousness started to fade. I was really scared. I remember struggling desperately, but then I felt like I had sunk to the bottom of the sea and then floated back up. When I came to my senses, I was already on the shore. I have no idea how I got back." Huang said he didn't know how he had swum back, but the strange way he had swum from the sea was very clear to the people on the shore. Fluff was so scared that she broke out in a cold sweat. The four of them were silent for a long time. Finally, Fluff's husband broke the silence. "Thank goodness, he's okay. Let's head back. We'll find a place to eat on the way to help Huang calm down. It's good that nothing serious happened." Fluff chimed in, "Yes, let's go and get some food." The four of them left the beach and found a restaurant at random. During the meal, Fluff and her husband tried to change the subject, saying, "Let's not talk about this. Let's talk about something else happy to lighten the mood." But Le and Huang, still shaken from the scare, had no appetite. So the meal was very quiet. After the meal, the four of them returned to the hotel together. Fluff and Le made a plan. "Let's have a good rest tonight. Tomorrow we'll go shopping and then catch a performance in the evening to relax."